without affecting frontline policing.
Order, I apologise. I could happily listen to my colleagues' questions and answers all afternoon, but I'm afraid we must move on. Point of order, Yvette Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this chamber was told on Thursday that the draft emergency legislation would be in the library of the House. It was raised in the urgent question, in the point of order from my honourable friend from Bradford South, yet it is not there. The BBC has been told the counter-terrorism review is now complete. What can he do to assist this House and get the Home Secretary to give a statement to the House this afternoon, not Wednesday, on the counter-terrorism review and the location of the emergency draft legislation before the old powers run out at midnight tonight?
She's about to provide enlightenment. Home Secretary.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do so. We will be placing draft emergency legislation in the library of the House. We did not say that it will be placed. We did not say that it will be placed in the library of the House before the current legislation lapsed. There is emergency legislation available for the use of this House, if necessary, in the intervening period, and that is Section 25 of the Terrorism Act 2006. It is the correct legal process for reducing from 28 days to 14 days to allow the existing legislation to lapse, because that was the sunset clause put in the legislation by the last Labour government.
A separate point of order. Not a separate point of order. Now, in that case, I think we should leave it where it is for today. Order. The Home Secretary has raised a point of order. Comment has been made upon the matter. Those accounts are before the House. I don't think there's anything further I can do at this stage. Order. I do say to the Honourable Gentleman Member for Rhondda, these are at least in part matters of debate and argument. The point has been made very clearly by the Shadow Home Secretary, expressing concern on behalf not merely of herself but of many others, and to that the Home Secretary has replied. I honestly think, point of order on a different matter, Mr. Tom Watson.
Mr. Speaker, we hear serious allegations that two former Prime Ministers were concerned about phone hacking. Have you had notice of a statement of the Home Office, from the Home Office, to see what steps they are taking to establish whether the current Prime Minister and his Chancellor were so too victims of News International's phone hacking?
I have received no such notification, and the Honourable Gentleman's put his point on the record, but I know he and the House will appreciate that I have a responsibility to protect the important business which now follows. So we come to the main business. Point of order. I hope it is a different and unrelated point of order. Order. The Honourable Gentleman can raise a separate and unrelated point of order. Mr. Andrew Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On two successive business questions, I've raised the issue with the Leader of the House relating to the failure of the Department of Transport to answer questions properly laid in this chamber. On Wednesday of last week, I, for the first time in my 19 years here, used the device of an answer for today. It still has not been answered. Will you please, Mr. Speaker, use your good offices to make sure that the Department of Transport do their duty towards this House?
Well, the pledge that appeared to have been made to the Honourable Gentleman does not appear to have been fulfilled, as far as I can tell. But at any rate, the Honourable Gentleman has used a device to try to extract a reply, and it hasn't been forthcoming. The dissatisfaction that he's expressed will have been heard. As of now, my best advice is that the Honourable Gentleman should get over to the Table Office and pursue the issue further. If he needs to revert to this House again, on the strength of his 19 years' experience, I don't think he'll hesitate to do just that, and that's perfectly proper. If there are no further points of order, we come now to the main business, the